The soft background music in the cozy room was suddenly shattered by a loud noise from the gate. Mrs. Joy, the widow embracing her lover, jumped up, her face pale, and whispered to Mr. Tom, the lumberyard owner, "We're dead, Tom. I think someone's outside. Could it be your wife?" Mr. Tom tried to reassure her. "No, my wife, Mrs. Tara, is at work right now. She doesn't come home this early." However, Mrs. Joy huddled up, trembling in the corner of the bed. Mr. Tom rushed out, peeped through the window, and came back with a frantic expression. "It's exactly my wife. What do we do now, Joy?" Mrs. Joy, her face drained of color, cried in a terrified whimper, "We're dead, honey. Where do I hide now?" She hastily pulled on her panties, grabbed her clothes, and slipped out the back door, running straight toward the stack of lumber at the edge of the yard. Mr. Tom quickly put his clothes back on and followed Mrs. Joy to help her find a hiding spot. Mrs. Joy looked toward the boundary fence, realizing what she needed to do in her panic. Though very scared, she managed to tell Mr. Tom, "I'll jump the fence back home, okay? Hiding here is too risky." Without hesitation, Mr. Tom pulled Mrs. Joy and pushed her over the fence. At this moment, Mrs. Joy was completely naked, except for her panties. Mr. Tom urged her, "Hurry up, honey. My wife might see you. Run along the edge of the pond, okay? We'll meet tomorrow." Mr. Tom quickly hurried inside, pretending nothing had happened. Mr. Tom saw Mrs. Tara, her face etched with murderous rage, storming into the house. She screamed, "Who were you sleeping with? Which brazen woman dared to sneak into my house and cheat with my husband? Where is she hiding? Which slut seduced my husband? Get out here now!" Mrs. Tara checked everywhere, under the beds, inside the wardrobes, and every corner. Mr. Tom feigned innocence. "What are you doing? I'm here alone. What woman are you talking about that you're making such a fuss?" Mrs. Tara shouted furiously. "Then why aren't you at work today? Someone came all the way to the brick kiln to tell me this. They saw a woman into your house. Are you still denying it?" Mr. Tom argued, "You're ridiculous. I came home to get a piece of plywood. I haven't seen anyone since I got back. There's no one here. You're just listening to rumors." Mrs. Tara was so enraged, she choked up with anger. She had heard rumors for a while, but never caught them in the act. She had her suspicions, but never thought it was Mrs. Joy, the co-worker at her husband's lumberyard. They wouldn't lie. "I already suspected you. If I catch that woman, I'll scratch her face off. You miserable wretch, a dirty cheat. You don't work. You just chase after women all day. If I catch you, don't blame me." Despite his worry, Mr. Tom tried to look calm. Knowing Mrs. Joy had escaped, he felt somewhat relieved. He tried to calm Mrs. Tara down. "Why are you making such a scene? I told you there's nothing going on. The neighbors will hear and judge me with bad rumors." Mrs. Tara scoffed. "A man like you has no dignity. All you do is brag and lie. I may have missed catching you today, but you won't be so lucky next time." With that, she kicked over a flower pot on the porch, then went out, got on her car, and drove back toward the brick kiln to continue her work. Mr. Tom sighed a relief, having finally escaped a fierce, jealous confrontation. Mr. Tom was not a naturally promiscuous man. He had married a wife who was too fierce, so he never had the chance to court other women. Even though he was over 50, he was still vigorous and healthy. However, Mrs. Joy was the woman who drove him crazy and pushed him past his limits. Mrs. Joy had been working as a helper at his lumberyard for 6 months. She was from the same village, living about a mile away.
She had been a widow for several years. Her husband died in a mine collapse. Her children were grown and lived far away. She lived alone, spending what she earned. She only sought the job as a helper to earn a small income, but her main source of income was seducing and luring men. She used to work as a housekeeper in the city, but was severely beaten and fired after the family discovered her affair with the master of the house. Back in the countryside, unable to find suitable work, she chose to work as a construction helper. Mrs. Joy had a honeyed tongue, which helped her win over Mr. Tom. She did very little work because she lacked physical strength. She worked little but kept flirting with the young men, always thinking of finding a man to lean on and satisfy her emotional and physical needs. She was very bold sexually, almost promiscuous. Her shifty eyes never stayed still, lighting up whenever she saw a man. Initially, she aimed for the homeowner, but finding that difficult, she turned her attention to Mr. Tom. She expressed her flirtation clearly through her words, not shying away from provocative topics. Whenever Mr. Tom was working in a corner, she would rush over to assist him. On the first day, she immediately started flirting. Mr. Tom, let me help you, okay? Working near you gives me motivation. The work over there is too hard for me. Mr. Tom teased. I'm giving you special treatment, okay? If it were anyone else, I wouldn't have hired you. You're better suited for acting than construction work. Mrs. Joy replied, Don't say that. I'm here to cheer up the guys. Isn't that nice? I feel attracted to you, but the other two workers are boring. Mr. Tom joked, So, I'll divorce my wife and you come live with me, okay? Mrs. Joy was delighted. Oh, that would be wonderful. To be honest, I've been a widow for over 10 years and hoped for some man to notice me. Mr. Tom was delighted. So you sleep alone at night, then?
Oh, you. If a husband dies, who else would I sleep with? Should I sleep with the neighbor? Mr. Tom chuckled. I thought you'd find someone to keep you company. Have you really been alone all this time? I heard the neighbors say you have many admirers. Mrs. Joy confessed. To be honest, I've dated a few men, but it never worked out. My life has been tough. Any man I'm with only lasts a few weeks or months before disappearing. I wish I could find someone like you. Mr. Tom, seeing her interest, played along. Then be my wife, okay? I'll take care of you until you die. Mrs. Joy, go ask your wife. If she agrees, I'll be your second wife right away. The workers became much livelier after Mrs. Joy joined. They joked more because they had someone to tease. They viewed Mrs. Joy as a visual treat, and her curvy body gave them motivation to work. Mr. Tom thought to himself, just like that, a widow likes me. It'd be a waste not to take advantage of this gift from heaven. My wife at home is like an enemy, ugly and crude. Now I have this fresh, tempting treat served right up. It's hard to refuse. The co-workers encouraged him. Joy is really into you, Tom. If you don't sample her, she'll get restless. Women who've been alone for too long crave that. You should make a move. If she was into me, I'd have taken her long ago. Mr. Tom was motivated but also worried. Mrs. Joy was from the same village and related to his lioness wife. In this village, the smallest slip could lead to widespread gossip, but looking at her seductive demeanor constantly stimulated his male urges. After work, she would always change into a new outfit, showing off to the crew that she was still desirable. When washing her hands and feet, she'd intentionally pull her pants up high, splashing water and letting her shirt get soaked to reveal her curves. She wanted him to know, look, I may look like this, but I'm still very attractive inside. She wasn't shy about asking Mr. Tom for rides to and from work. At first, he feared the neighbors, but her allure intoxicated him. Sitting behind him, she would press her body tightly against his back, deliberately stimulating his desire. After working together for over a month, they developed clear feelings for each other. They moved from verbal flirting to physical action. Her naughty hands would grasp his shoulders and caress him. Mr. Tom was equally bold, touching her intimately wherever she exposed herself. Mrs. Joy, having been without a man for a long time, desperately craved physical intimacy. It was the end of the month, and the homeowner invited the crew to stay for dinner. Mrs. Joy showed up looking completely different, dressed up like she was going to a wedding. Though it was just a regular sleep outfit, it was very tight with a low neckline that caught everyone's eye. The crew kept winking at Mr. Tom, implying Mrs. Joy looked delicious and it would be a waste not to seize the opportunity. Mr. Tom was excited and watched her intently every time she leaned down to pick up food. He vowed to himself that he would strike fast. After dinner, everyone signaled to Mr. Tom to wait for Mrs. Joy, as she had ridden home with a neighbor. With a buzz from the wine, he enthusiastically accepted. Mr. Tom, Joy, you want me to drive you back? Mrs. Joy confidently, if you don't drive me, who will? Be careful, don't get lost, or I'm done for. Mr. Tom teased, how about I take you down to the field for a little talk? Mrs. Joy, do you want the mosquitoes to bite us to death down there? Mr. Tom wanted it badly, but didn't know where to go, knowing she was craving him and would agree to anything. Sitting on the bike, Mrs. Joy pressed her leg against his body, her naughty hand touching him inappropriately. Her soft perfume made him even more excited. Mr. Tom, how about we hang up for a bit? Mrs. Joy, geez, you talk a big game. Do you dare, or are you just talking to satisfy yourself? You're a coward who's afraid of his wife, yet you brag. Mr. Tom, it depends on you. I told my wife I was at a party. I can come home whenever I want. So where do you want to go? To a cafe or to the field? Mrs. Joy, you keep teasing me. Let's go, somewhere only the two of us can be. Mr. Tom said, feeling happy. It's been a long time. My wife won't let me touch her. She says she's tired from working all day and doesn't want to be bothered. Plus, I have a little wine in me today. Now's the perfect time for action. Mrs. Joy was equally thrilled, perhaps even more than Mr. Tom. Mrs. Joy, how about we go to my house for a drink? There's no one home, just me. We can sit comfortably there. This was exactly what Mr. Tom wanted. He sped toward Mrs. Joy's house. Sitting behind him, Mrs. Joy hugged him tightly. It was strange how things had happened so fast. After only working together for a short time, they were now holding hands. They were truly two lustful people needing each other. Upon reaching Mrs. Joy's house, he quietly turned off the engine and wheeled the bike inside to avoid the neighbors' attention. Mrs. Joy expertly went inside first to turn on the nightlight. Mr. Tom secured the bike and came into the house. He saw Mrs. Joy had changed into a different sleep dress, older and looser, but notably, she wore nothing underneath. This excited Mr. Tom even more. Mrs. Joy, smiling brightly, faced him and poured water. You look different tonight. Mr. Tom, I never thought you'd be this attractive at home. You look so sweet, it's a waste that you're just a construction helper with me. Mrs. Joy coyly replied, I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm only afraid of being without a man. You'll make it up to me tonight, okay? Mr. Tom, to be honest, I've lost the desire to satisfy my wife, but when I look at you, I feel stirred up. Mrs. Joy, don't flatter me. Are you sure you have the strength to fight? You worked hard this afternoon and drank tonight. Where will you get the energy to satisfy me? If you don't make me happy, I'll punish you. Mr. Tom, no problem. When I'm intimate with you, you'll remember me forever.
Mrs. Joy walked toward the bedroom door. Aren't you coming in?
"Hurry up or your wife will yell at you." Mr. Tom followed, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and curiosity. He wondered if she would be as wild and passionate as he imagined. But just looking at her seductive state, he was already hooked. The bedroom door closed. Before Mr. Tom could settle down, Mrs. Joy proactively stripped off everything. Her intense eyes spoke volumes. Mr. Tom was shocked and impressed by how beautiful and alluring this helper was naked. It was a world away from his wife's body. Mr. Tom, mesmerized, stood up and undressed. He pulled Mrs. Joy toward him, and they both fell onto the bed. Mrs. Joy's greedy, longing eyes revealed everything. The desire was raging inside her. She had high needs and had to cherish this opportunity. The real intention, Mrs. Joy tried to lead Mr. Tom into the battle with sweet, provocative words. "You must cherish me, okay? If you're indifferent, I won't be able to work tomorrow." "Mr. Tom, don't worry. I've been saving up energy for weeks just to satisfy you tonight. Come here, come to me." In the dilapidated room, with no valuable items, two people were intensely engaged. The shadows on the wall moving back and forth showed how powerful Mr. Tom was. Mrs. Joy just let herself be fully embraced by Mr. Tom's strong thrusts. She couldn't believe an old man like Mr. Tom could be so agile. She had been with many men, but he was probably the one who gave her the most intense pleasure. The sounds of pleasure filled the air, along with warm embraces and sweet kisses, all synchronized. After all the days of starving, Mrs. Joy was finally satisfied. Mr. Tom felt the same. This new pleasure made him feel like a young man again. He fought with more spirit and effectiveness than with his wife. However, Mr. Tom still didn't fully understand Mrs. Joy. He only thought she came to him because she was lonely and needed to satisfy a need, with no other motive. But in reality, Mrs. Joy had another goal: to flirt and ask for money after each encounter. She had always done this to support herself.
After the match ended, she whispered in Mr. Tom's ear, "Did you enjoy it? Was I better than your wife?" Mr. Tom, "Of course. I'm still feeling the afterglow. Your wife is only 1/10 of you. I was quite surprised by you. I never thought you'd be so bold in bed." Mrs. Joy, "I have to be bold to attract you. You are strong too. I thought you'd be weak, but you were quite something. It takes that much to satisfy me." Mr. Tom, "That's why you're so curvy. Just looking at you makes me feel cheerful. If I were the owner, I'd promote you to foreman right away." Mrs. Joy was waiting for this line. She whined, "I don't need to be a foreman. I just need money. Look at my house here. It lacks everything. I have to work as a helper with you. Don't you think I'm pitiful?" Mr. Tom, blinded by lust and easily manipulated, "I thought it was something serious. What do you want? I'll buy it for you. Or I'll give you some money, okay? But will you still want to be with me after this?" Mrs. Joy, "Oh, you? How could I abandon a man like you?" Mr. Tom, swayed by her words, reached to the nightstand, took out his wallet, and gave her $200. "Here, is this enough to make you happy? That's more than a few days' wages. If you make me happy next time, I might reward you more." Mrs. Joy happily took the money. Finally, she had achieved her goal: pleasure and money. She tightly hugged Mr. Tom, nuzzling him to express her thanks. After that, Mrs. Joy continued to work as usual. They grew closer, discussing plans on how to meet without being caught. Mr. Tom was the most afraid, fearing his wife's discovery and the ruin of his family. The other workers suspected their affair but remained discreet. The affair continued. Whenever there was an opportunity, Mr. Tom would sneak into Mrs. Joy's house. Sometimes he would ask her to stay home so he could visit her.
Mrs. Joy continued to receive money regularly, sometimes $100, sometimes $200. For Mrs. Joy, Mr. Tom was a gold mine. Mr. Tom fell deeper into the affair, and his marriage worsened. Bad news spreads fast. Rumors about Mr. Tom's affair started circulating. People talked about the contractor sleeping with the helper. No one had caught them red-handed, but in this small community, the smallest hint was enough for people to understand everything. The news reached Mrs. Tara, but she didn't believe it. Mr. Tom had never had a bad reputation, and he was always at work. She dismissed the neighbors' gossip, thinking Mr. Tom would never dare to touch someone from the same village, especially someone distantly related to her. She knew Mr. Tom often drove Mrs. Joy, but thought it was just neighbors helping each other out. This allowed the two cheats to continue their affair. Once, a neighbor told Mrs. Tara that Mr. Tom had driven a woman home and they were intimately hugging. Mrs. Tara rushed out to catch them, but only found her old husband unaware that the rival had slipped out the back door.
After the failed attempt to catch them, they quieted down for a while. Mr. Tom, fearing discovery, asked Mrs. Joy to stop and change jobs, but she refused. She was too infatuated with him and didn't want to lose a significant income. While most people would be scared into stopping after being almost caught, Mrs. Joy continued, showing the fierce allure of adultery. A little over a week later, they couldn't resist. Mr. Tom used the excuse of an owner's party to stay out late. That evening, however, they had guests at home, so Mrs. Tara drove out to find him. She found the owner's house dark and empty. Mrs. Tara was furious, certain he had used it as an excuse to be with another woman. She wondered where he could be and thought of Mrs. Joy. Could my old man be there? Could the rumors be true? She drove straight to Mrs. Joy's house. Seeing the lights on inside, she parked her car by the fence and squeezed through the bushes. As she approached the window, she heard strange noises. She pressed her ear to the window. Oh my God, that's my husband's voice. It's Mr. Tom saying, "Are you happy?" Mrs. Tara's face went dark and her fury exploded. Without hesitation, she rushed to the main door and banged on it violently. "You two dogs, get out here now! I've caught you sleeping together in the act today!" The fierce shout jolted them awake. They turned pale, unsure how to handle the situation. They hastily got dressed. After a standoff, Mr. Tom had to face reality. Following the wild screams, neighbors gathered. The yard was filled with people. A horrific fight broke out. They broke the door to drag the couple out. Mrs. Joy was dragged into the yard, her clothes ripped off by Mrs. Tara. Mrs. Tara beat Mrs. Joy fiercely. "You dog! You dare to flirt with my husband! You sleep with every man and my husband wasn't spared." Mr. Tom, ashamed, slipped away, leaving his lover bruised and battered in the yard. Mrs. Joy cried and pleaded. Mrs. Tara continued to curse and attack until past 11 p.m., only stopping when the neighbors intervened. The next morning, Mrs. Tara went back to Mrs. Joy's house for another confrontation. She spread the story throughout the village. Humiliated, Mrs. Joy had to leave town and go to the city to find work. Mr. Tom was tormented by his wife for days and scorned by the community. Ashamed, he took a week off work. The price of the affair was too high. In the end, both were left with the scorn of others, a bad reputation, and the hateful looks of those around them. The story, The Secret Deal at the Lumberyard, is a profound warning about desires that cross the boundaries of morality and marriage. The value of family happiness. The affair between Mr. Tom and Mrs. Joy not only ruined their personal reputations, but also threatened the stability of a family. True happiness cannot be built upon deceit and betrayal, personal responsibility, and consequences. Mr. Tom, despite having a fierce wife, still had the responsibility to remain faithful. Mrs. Joy, for the sake of earning money and satisfying her needs, exploited another person's weakness.
Both had to endure public humiliation and lose the respect of their community. Ambition and greed. Mrs. Joy's greed for money valued more highly than her honor pushed her onto the wrong path, turning affection into a paid, secret deal. The power of public opinion. In a small community, every wrongdoing is hard to hide, and public opinion can be the most public and painful form of punishment. Hopefully, this story will be a lifelong lesson for both, and that Mrs. Joy will change herself and her mindset to find happiness in her later years.